including servicemen, young students, relatives and families of the survivors, and friends and representatives from the international community. They will sing national anthem while observing a minute of silence to pay the tribute to the victims who perished in the winter of 1937. And also a declaration of peace will be read out. The bell of peace will be rung in memory of those who died in the massacre. It's a cold morning, as it was 80 years ago in Nanjing. This is National Memorial Service for the victims of the Nanjing Massacre. President Xi Jinping walked on the petals in front of the Memorial Hall in Nanjing. He will be observing, as everybody else at the site, a minute of silence to pay tributes to who died in that atrocity 8 decades ago. Well, China set December the 13th as a National Memorial Day for the victims of the Nanjing Massacre back in 2014. And back then, Chinese President Xi attended the first memorial activities of the Nanjing Massacre in 2014. Well, during that ceremony, he said the Chinese people will remember history while cherishing peace and creating a better future for all human beings. Well, this year marks the 80th anniversary of that massacre. And that's why he chose to come again, to join others, to remember those who were killed. The guards of honor in front of the Memorial Hall.
The National Memorial Service for Nanjing Massacre victim begins now. Please rise to the national anthem of the People's Republic of China. Now let's pay a minute of silence to the victims. The end of moment. To the massacre victims, let's present the flowers. Now, let's welcome the representatives of the middle school students in Nanjing to chant the Peace Manifesto. The Yangtze River runs through the city of Nanjing. The flowers of Zhongshan Mountain are forever blossoming. In 1937, the tragedy befalls. On December the 13th, the city had been invaded. The Japanese invaders commit unspeakable crimes. Bodies covered the fields, and blood stained the Yangtze River. 300,000 lives were lost. In 6 weeks of purgatory and devastation, the world had been shocked and the whole country in mourning. The cold winter is the witness to the calamity. It's an unprecedented event and a dark page in human civilization. It's tragical, yet alarming. Weakness and poverty leads to shame and humiliation. Invasion and separation plagued our motherland. But the people were awakened and strived for independence and liberation. Reform and rejuvenation has prospered the country. But we should never forget history as its lesson to the descendants. Pains and sufferings is what made us strong. 80 years of struggle has been engraved in history. We were never defeated, but grew stronger ever since. On the Memorial Day of 2017, we are once again convened on this solemn occasion, wearing white flowers in commemoration of the victims. We wrote this peace manifesto to demonstrate that righteousness and justice never die. Friendliness and harmony leads to prosperity. Peace and development are the theme of the times. National rejuvenation is the dreams for generations. The words of commemoration were imprinted on the tripod. The history shall be remembered and forever engraved. The history shall be remembered and forever engraved. The history shall be remembered and forever be engraved. Forever engraved. Now let's give the floor to Mr. Yu Zhengsheng, Chairman of the CPPCC. Compatriots, comrades, friends. This year marks the 18th anniversary for the Nanjing massacre. 80 years ago, the Japanese invaders committed the crime of Nanjing massacre. 300,000 people were slaughtered, and millions of women and children were trampled and raped. The city of Nanjing witnessed atrocity, and this inhumane deeds is against human nature, and is a dark page in human civilization. Today, we gather here to hold the National Memorial Service for Nanjing Massacre victims in commemoration of the deceased in the massacre, and all lives that were lost during the Japanese aggression, as well as all people who had given their lives for the victory of the Japanese, of the war of resistance, as well as in commemoration of all those people from home and abroad that have given their life to our fight to independence. It's a declaration that we will never forget the past and that we will cherish peace in the future. It's a solemn declaration that peaceful development is our wish and pledge. 80 years has passed. The dark history of the massacre has been recognized by UNESCO as the World Heritage of Memory and will be forever engraved in history. Faced with the atrocity of the Japanese invaders, our compatriots rise and fall together and fight together, and a lot of people offered help to protect the innocent civilians and keep records of the atrocity. Among them are John Rabbe from Germany, Sindberg from Denmark, John Mudge from the United States, for their humanitarian efforts. The Chinese people will never forget. At the critical moment of life and death, and faced with the atrocity of the Japanese invaders, the Chinese people stayed together, and patriotism has convened us all. The Communist Party of China has led this effort against Japanese invasion and has played the main part in the fight against Japanese invasions. The Chinese people paid great sacrifice to defend national sovereignty and independence, and life and blood were given in order to defeat the invaders, and has finally won the war of resistance, and has yet written a chapter of resistance. In 14 years of fighting against resistance, we have lost 35 million people in casualty, and China has become the main battlefield for anti-fascist war and has made great contribution to the winning of the World War II. Compatriots, comrades, dear friends, we should never forget history and be forever engraved. The Nanjing Massacre and Manila Massacre, or the death rail of Thailand and Myanmar. The Chinese people and the people all over the world will never forget Only if we can remember history can we build a better future. In the future, we should also keep the past in mind. We should keep in memory the stories of our predecessors in order to avoid the repeating of tragedies, and also fight for the continued human prosperity and peace. War is like a mirror. It keeps reminding us the preciousness of peace. This war, led by the Japanese militarists, has caused great casualties and pains and sufferings to the Chinese people and to the Japanese people alike. The people of China and Japan should cherish this peace, and peace needs the safeguarding effort of the entire international community. We should face the past in a candid manner and gain strength from it. To safeguard peace, people all over the world should work together to honor the UN Charter and international orders and further promote peace and development of the entire human race. To safeguard peace, China will stay committed to peaceful development. Whenever development stage we are, we will never expand and will never enforce what we have suffered to other nations. China and Japan are neighbors, and we have a lot of civil communications, and we go way back. Therefore, we should be friendly neighbors and learn from each other and conduct friendly diplomatic relations. We should further deepen our cooperation and foreign relations with neighboring countries, including Japan. This year marks the 45th anniversary of the official establishment of foreign relations, and our two countries should base our foreign policies on the interests of the two people, and peace and development and friendliness should be the theme. And we should learn from history and face the future and continue the friendly relations and contribute to the peace and development of the human race. Comrades, compatriots, friends, since the 18th National Congress, the central leadership centered around President Xi Jinping has shouldered historical responsibilities and proposed a series of new concepts, new strategies, and new theories, and has stipulated major targets and principles and regulations and major costs, and has thus promoted the development of the party and the country as a whole. In this solemn occasion, we are here to commemorate the past, commemorate the victims and the patriots. With our efforts, our national comprehensive strength has entered the top league of the world, and our national position has been raised, and the livelihood of the people and the nation has been entirely changed. The socialism with Chinese characteristics has entered a new phase. Our mission calls for responsibility, and the mission will lead us to the future. Today, the Chinese people are stronger as ever, are stronger than ever, and capable than ever to realize the national rejuvenation. In this new long march, the Chinese people will also stay true to the socialism with Chinese characteristics and its theories, and with the strong leadership of the Communist Party of China, we will further our efforts to strengthen the socialism with Chinese characteristics and create better lives for us all. The Chinese people is more than willing to work with people from all over the world to build a community of mutual destiny and be the contributor to world peace and contributor to world development and the protector of world orders, and together we will build a better future for the entire human race. Thank you. Now let's release the doll representing peace and also ring the bell of peace.
The
victims of Nanjing massacre memorial service concludes now. Please visit the memorial hall for Nanjing massacre victims.